People often ask, what are energy vampires? Energy vampires are people who feed on the living force of other people. Energy vampires fall into about two major categories. The first one, I call them social. These are people who are possessed by demonic entities or who are possessed by entities from the lower level of the astral plane. Those people, these humans, they're people, usually they do not know that they're possessed. They're the vast portion of energy vampires today. What demonic entities or thought forms or lower levels of the astral plane are they possessed by? Different levels of entities. These can be entities of despair, demonic entities of hate, of jealousy, of consumerism of all kinds. These can be demonic entities or thought forms of the belief that they are not good enough. That is a false belief, again. Therefore, constantly needing affirmation and reaffirmation that they are good enough. Their victims have to reassure them about something. That is how the energy vampires drain their energy, one of the many ways. A very simple example, when you have a conversation with someone who sits next to you and constantly complains about anything and everything, you leave this conversation drained while your friend or whoever you talk to usually feels relieved. These energy vampires can be charismatic and they're usually well liked. Strange, isn't it? They are typically surrounded by a group of people. Energy vampires of the first group are predominantly absorbed by themselves. Everything is usually about themselves. This is one characteristics. These energy vampires also tend to fix and stay with the same victims, the same group of people, where they know they will not be exposed. Listen carefully, they are capable of masking, building up a false relationship, a false friendship with a person, colleague, student, friend, neighbor, anybody. They might be interested in you only when it comes to very casual topics. However, if it comes to you really needing their help of any kind, they are not there. Oftentimes, strange enough, they themselves have a crisis of their own at that time. When their food source, the victim, the friend, etc., finally realizes what is happening and cuts them off, these energy vampires go in despair. They play miserable. They pretend nothing has happened. They play the victim. The other characteristic of energy vampires is they do not tolerate the state of harmony, a state of balance, a quiet. There has to be a constant drama, toxicity, negative conversations. They tend to bring negative events of any kind. It is the entities within them that make them do so, so they can feed on the negative emotions which will be produced by such a negative talk. Do you recognize such an energy vampire? Now, the second kind of energy vampire, this is a different conversation. These energy vampires are very rare. They are very skillful and can be recognized by highly intuitive people. These energy vampires know what they're doing and act with intent. They are capable of producing thought forms and send them to their target with different intent. Being around energy vampire is dangerous for your mental and physical health. Recognize how you feel around certain people.